Hi guys, how are you today? Welcome to my channel. It's time to talk about the French Open. I'm here to preview the French Open for you today. And yeah, let's get into it. I want to just first talk about the draw, the French Open draw. Okay, so who is going to be playing who? Who is the draw? Well, the most important part of all of this is, sorry about that, is the fact that like three guys are really favourite to win this Grand Slam, the French Open. Thiem, Djokovic, and Nadal. So there's four semi-finalists and three guys that can win it. So who's going to end up on what side of the draw? That's what all this is about. So let's get into it. Djokovic has actually got very lucky here because he's probably the third best player on clay, but now he gets to move all the way through to the French Open final without playing the two better guys on clay, Thiem and Nadal. And then possibly when he plays them, they've exhausted each other over a 5-hour match, then he gets to play a lesser version. So only one of them instead of two, and possibly an exhausted one where his two rivals beat each other up. For Nadal and Thiem, they're going to have to play each other, followed by Djokovic. So they're going to have to get through two of the contenders, and Djokovic just gets an easy run through to the final. So basically, that's what's happened with the draw. So if you look at the whole situation, right? Um, Djokovic's draw. So Djokovic has got like the first couple of rounds, really low ranked players around 100 should breeze through those. Then he's got Hurkacz. I'm not sure if I'm saying Hubert Hurkacz, who's around like the late 20s in rankings. He's a big kind of power guy. Like that's a bit of a tough for third round. This guy could be quite good. Not tough if it was quarterfinals, but tough for the third round. Then he's got Karen Khachanov. Like this guy is like a power sort of go for it guy, but Djokovic gets the big serves back and forces them into long rallies because of his return. And these guys can't stick in it consistently for a long rally. It's going to be worse on clay because Djokovic will get back more of their serves and more of their power shots in the rally. So this whole situation with Djokovic moving through to the quarterfinals, and then he's either going to get a Goot who's not really in the top eight anyway in the quarterfinals. He's due to play Berrettini, who is sort of a Songa type player who doesn't have any movement, doesn't have any power, just has a serve and just goes for it. Now, like I said, Djokovic, even on hard court, he eats these players up. Um, Gets back their serve, forces them into rallies. They can't rally with Djokovic. Their power game will be worse because Djokovic will be able to run down more of their shots, get back more of their serves, force them to even more longer rallies. They just won't have the consistency. So Khachanov um, in the fourth round and Berrettini in the quarterfinals, but probably Berrettini is too inconsistent, won't get past a Goot. So he's probably going to play a Goot. I mean, that's still a tough match on clay. He's good at rallying and all of that, but it'll be like it'll be a test for Djokovic. But for the quarterfinals, I think that's not a very hard match. It's meant to be at least somewhat hard. And then if you're in the if you're in the semifinals, Djokovic is looking at Tsitsipas or Medvedev. I mean, Medvedev's never won a match at the French Open. He just played on clay this week at Hamburg. He went out in the first round there. So, like, compared to playing Thiem Medvedev, I mean, Thiem has almost won the Australian Open, won the US Open. He's a clay quarter. So, how good is he going to be compared to Medvedev, who can't even win a match at the French Open? So, that's easy, but probably, again, he won't get there, so they end up with probably Tsitsipas or Rublev. I think has a decent chance to upset. So it's going to be like sort of one of those Medvedev, Tsitsipas, Rublev. I say it won't be Medvedev, so it's between Rublev and Tsitsipas I'm going to go with Tsitsipas because I saw he played some quite high quality matches there in Hamburg, his first couple. So just based on that, he's close, but I'll go with him. So then it's just an easy run for the final for Djokovic. With he is the third best player on clay. He's lost like 3 years in a row to Thiem. So as far as competing for second best on clay, it's not him. But all that's not a reality this year because Thiem and Nadal, the two guys who are favoured, are on the other side of the draw. So he could just get through to the final by playing average. And like I said, Thiem and Nadal could have a log hard match. So even though he still has to play one in the final, he could play them more exhausted. So this is huge for Djokovic. Now, like if you look at Nadal's draw, Nadal again, like I said, he got the disadvantage. He could have to beat Thiem in the semi-finals, who's probably the second best clay courter, and then Djokovic, who's currently number one in the world, but probably the third best on clay. But the thing is, Nadal hasn't had that long clay court season he usually has going in, doesn't have the momentum, doesn't have the matches. So just 3 matches in 7 months on clay or on any surface. Played those 3 matches and then has a week off and goes in, as opposed to a long clay court season where he's dominating. Even last year, he couldn't win in Monte Carlo, Barcelona, Madrid, but then finally got at Rome. Now it's only 3 matches in Rome. He didn't win it. He wasn't quite ready. And then he's got to push in the French Open. So hardest circumstances for Nadal to win, but best reward. Hardest, like, and if usually he wouldn't, if he's got off a full clay court season, it wouldn't matter whose theme's on the draw. The reality is if you're best, you're the best. It doesn't matter about your draw. Like you Nadal will just win against anyone, so it's not relevant. But this year is the one year where he might have said the draw matters, like what side of the draw Thiem is. Like, I'm just coming back from a long break. I'm just starting. I'm not really near my best. And even though it's clay, I need sort of, if I needed a draw to win, it's this year. Like, give me the hard draw in 2021. I'll play a whole clay courts, but I'm vulnerable. I need some sort of good luck in this draw. But instead, he's got the hard draw, so he's going to have to go through Thiem, probably his biggest challenger on clay, and Djokovic is his biggest challengers in tennis in general. And they're going to be back to back in 5-set matches when he's been out for so long. But the positive side of Nadal's draw is he basically is playing the 80. He like I said, he's only got 3 matches, so he needs at least 4 or 5 matches plus those 3 if he wants to have a chance of clicking to his normal French Open level. Now he gets someone about 87 in the world from Belarus. Then the next round, he's either going to play a qualifier or an American ranked about 200, another easy match. So now guaranteed 2 more matches in addition to the 3. Now his game is building up. And then in the third round of the draw, Nadal is playing the British player. He's named Dan Evans, or it'll be Nishikori. Yeah. Dan Evans, he's not good on clay. It's about the easiest third round match you could get. Nishikori had the virus, not feeling well. Has been losing almost every match since he's come back, playing at a very low level. So it's going to be a very easy match there. Then he moves through 4th round. Fognini's lost, come back from a surgery, hasn't really had a chance to train. He's caused Nadal some trouble in the future, but he's playing very poorly. Again, lost almost every match, and if not, it'll be Isner. Isner lost in like the second round of the US Open, played nothing on clay. He won't be sort of at a high level. Isner, he'll be sort of not playing very well. So really, Nadal gets 4 more matches in addition to the 7 now and moves through to the quarterfinals. Doesn't need to play well at all. So now he's got 3 matches in Rome, plus 4 in Roland Garros, and now he really has a chance to click. So now in the quarterfinals, he should be at a level to play close to his best, not absolutely. But he'll be playing Zverev most probably. So Zverev is that kind of level. You don't need to beat Thiem and Djokovic, but you need to be somewhere close to your best, and that's where he should be. And then when he wins that, then it's the semi-finals, and he can take another stepping stone. Then maybe the 5 matches, a more tougher match against Zverev, plus the 3 in Rome. Now he's got 8 matches under his belt. He's won 5 matches in a row. He's beat a decent guy, Zverev. So now he really has a chance to play his absolute best, and then his absolute best will be required to beat Thiem in the semi-final, Djokovic in the final. I think he can do it. There's also a question: is I don't know if Thiem. I don't know if Dominic Thiem is going to even make it to the semi-final match. In that case, which side of the draw he is, Djokovic or Nadal, it's irrelevant because it'll just become Nadal versus Djokovic and no Thiem. Now, Thiem actually has to play Marian Cilic in the first round. Quite a tough match there. I mean, look at Thiem. He won the US Open. He did well, but he has to take 2 weeks off to rest his body to go another 2 weeks. So he's kind of exhausted, but also has no preparation, hasn't really done much for almost 2 weeks. So he'll be sort of out of it, and he'll need, just like Nadal will be, matches to get back into it. And just a few easy rounds. Instead, you put him against Marian Cilic. So if Marian Cilic gets his game back and plays well, and Thiem needs a game to get back at, then Thiem could be out in the first round. Um, then if he gets past that, he's got Riley Opelka. I mean, he's another big serve power guy. If Thiem's won a match, he should beat him, but he could be quite a high level. But then the problem is he's got Casper Ruud in the third round. Now he's about 28 to sort of 30 in the world, but that's his just general tennis. He prefers clay. Now, when you've got someone ranked towards that end of the 30s, but they're a clay quarter, so this is the place they're the best. You could be one of the top 5 or 6, 7 clay court players in the world. He made the semi-final. He almost won the first set against Djokovic in Rome. He's again in the quarterfinals and looking really good in Hamburg. He's got all these clay court matches when Thiem didn't really get the preparation. Casper Ruud really has a great chance to beat him there because, like I said, he's 28, 26, 30 around there, but he's about a top 10 in the world on clay. So that's a tough third round for Thiem. Then if he manages that, he's likely to play Stan Wawrinka. Now, Stan, he's won 3 Grand Slams, won the French Open, 2 French Open finals, plays his best on clay. He stayed in Europe and played all these challenger events, got about 8 matches on clay, lost in the first round at Rome, but apparently has an injury. I think he's rested. I think he's okay. And him against Thiem, if he's at his best, he has a huge backhand to hit through this slow court. Thiem has the forehand. Even if Thiem reaches his best, that could be a 50-50 game. And if Thiem's game isn't quite there, he could lose quite badly. And then if he gets past that, it's likely to be Monfils, which I don't know how he's playing, or Diego Schwartzman in the quarterfinals. So a nightmare draw. Schwartzman just beat Nadal at Rome. Really got up 3-love and 2 breaks on Djokovic in the final at Rome. Really playing a high level. So this whole Casper Ruud, the third round, Stan Wawrinka, and then Schwartzman, probably. It's very, very hard for Thiem, who's had to really not have any preparation, to just expect to switch at no clay matches, probably close to 2 weeks without any training, and just click it on right away. Like I said, one match that he needs to get his game, Cilic can take him out. Casper Ruud, probably the top 10 clay court, is already in the third round. Stan Wawrinka, probably one of the best 5 players the last 10 or 15 years, and he's preferring clay. You never know when he's going to get his game back. So that could be, and then Schwartzman, all he's done. And then even if you get through all that, then you got Nadal in the semi-finals, Djokovic in the finals. Very difficult for him. That other section of the draw, what we're looking at is like the Medvedev, Rublev one and Tsitsipas. That's the weaker part of the draw. And it's the question is who's going to get through that semi-final to play Djokovic. I say it won't be Medvedev. It'll be between Rublev or Tsitsipas. I'm going to say Tsitsipas. The 50-50, I don't know really if Thiem is going to make it to this semi-final. So I'm going to say 50-50. Either he goes out or he makes it through to the semi-final against Nadal, and he's so exhausted fighting for a long, hard 2 weeks at the US Open, and then this hard draw just to get through to the semi-final. He's just going to be running out of energy and not quite at his best for the Nadal match. So he'll win the battle but lose the war if he gets through this draw, but he may not even do it. So really, I'm just saying Nadal should get through to the final. The other side of the draw, I say Djokovic plays Tsitsipas in the semi-finals. He beats him. We end up with a Nadal Djokovic final, and this tough draw has really taken it to being three players down to two. We're left with Nadal and Djokovic. We've seen them, like when it comes to these matchups, if Nadal does play Thiem, this new ball they're saying that's slower and less high bounce. For Nadal versus Thiem, a slower court and a slower ball, um, it suits Thiem because this advantage of a slower court. Um, Thiem has the speed of Nadal, so to sort of when you're in long rallies, you've got this extra speed to retrieve. You're even harder to get past. But that advantage, Nadal's run everything down, and then this extra time on a slow court, almost impossible to get past his defense. But now Thiem defense is just as good, maybe better since he's younger. So then, as far as that, the slow court doesn't advantage Nadal. As far as like the power to hit through a great defensive player on a slow court, Thiem probably Nadal has that over Djokovic, but Thiem probably has an even bigger forehand and a bigger backhand. So the slow court doesn't really help Nadal in this. The only thing is Thiem has a better first serve, maybe, so he may lose that advantage. But the biggest thing about Nadal is in the clay court, it's slow and it's high bouncing. So the slowness suits him when he plays Djokovic, but Thiem would like to play him on slow courts where he's also good but low bouncing. But the problem is clay is slow but high bouncing. So with Thiem, it's not the speed of the court that's going to disadvantage him because they both like slow courts. It's the fact that it's slow plus high bouncing. So Nadal's favourite shot is the forehand across court that kicks up high on the backhand. He's got the one-handed backhand. So the problem is it's slow and high bouncing. So Nadal's favourite shot is he's going to get all these balls going high up on his backhand on a high bouncing court. But this year, with it slowing down, it could advantage Thiem. It could mean less balls are getting higher up on the backhand. The final is a day match, so Nadal would have rather the final because Thiem will be more nervous. Plus, the final is definitely a day game, so it's going to bounce up higher. But there's two semi-finals on a Friday, day and night. There's a good chance this will be a night match, so it'll be like the slowest, lowest bouncing court. Thiem has no problem with the slowness and no problem. And then playing at night when it's colder, sort of in autumn and or fall, really could take away the bounce and that whole issue that he has in clay, the forehand across court, high up in the one-handed backhand. This whole thing could be taken away, and it's just a slow, low court. And then, like I said, Thiem has just as much speed to retrieve the balls and more power to hit through a slow court and good defense than even Nadal does. So he's benefited by the slow court, but then the high bounce that's usually there on clay, he could be taken away. So if he can get there and somehow playing well, he could have a good chance. But I just say that the draw is too tough. Now Nadal versus Djokovic, the high bounce doesn't really bother Djokovic as much. But the problem is that matchup is better the slow court, whether there's bounce or not. You want it as slow as possible if you're Nadal, because Djokovic has this where what he does is he has a better serve than Nadal in general and has a better return and can attack Nadal's second serve. So what he does is first and second serve, he starts the rallies ahead. And Nadal's under pressure to turn it around. Nadal's second serve, with his great return, he can attack it, take control of the point and never let Nadal back in the rally. So Nadal's always behind in the point and try to turn it around, right? And the only time is 25% of the time on Nadal's first serve. But his second serve and Djokovic's serve, he's always, but that's on a faster court. On clay, the attacking return of serve lose its impact, the serve lose its impact, unless you've got a big serve like Isner, which he doesn't have. So now the sort of serve return battle, Djokovic can't really start the point ahead like he does. And then the slower the clay court is, the worse impact that'll be. So on a really slow clay court, anything from Djokovic's serves or either of their serves will be taken out. Djokovic's attacking return of serve, and it'll just be long, hard slogs where no one can start the point ahead from a good return of serve or a better serve, which Djokovic has. And he relies to have that to start the point ahead and not let Nadal back in. But on a very slow clay court, he won't have that. His serve won't get him to start the point ahead. His attacking return of serve won't. They'll just be like points starting at 50-50 rallies all the time, long, hard slogs, and whoever can win it. Now, in these rallies, that no one's going to have an advantage to start the point ahead on the serve or return of serve because it's so slow. It's just going to come down to who is going to win all these long 50-50 rallies. Now, Nadal has a huge forehand that he can run around and he needs time to set up for it, right? So he has the power to hit through a slow court and a great defensive player like Djokovic and just really have that power, because the combination of the slow court plus a great defensive player, you need power to end the point. You need a big weapon like a Thiem forehand and Nadal forehand, Stan Wawrinka backhand. But the thing is, Djokovic doesn't have that. So he doesn't have that big weapon to hit through a slow court and through a great defensive player like Nadal. But Nadal has that big finisher that even on a very slow court and a great defensive player like Djokovic, he can hit through the court. So it'll just be 50-50 rallies, serve and return are relevant, and who has the power to hit through a very slow court and a great defensive player, because both of them face it. They're both great defensive and slow. Nadal has the big weapon, the forehand. Djokovic doesn't. So the slow court really helps Nadal because he can hit through the court and Djokovic can't, and it takes out the advantage of the attacking return of the second serve and the better serve for Djokovic. That's all gone. It's all neutral 50-50 rallies, and it's coming down to who has the power to hit through the slow court. Great defensive shot. Nadal has the weapon, the forehand. Djokovic doesn't have that really powerful type shot to get through that slow court and get through the great defensive player. So then I say for that, this whole slowness of the court, it all advantage Nadal. I say Nadal should beat Djokovic in the final in 4 sets, and he's going to tie Roger Federer, and he's going to get his 20th Grand Slam here in Roland Garros. So that's my preview for the 2020 French Open. Have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. And don't forget to subscribe, give me the bell notification, the thumbs up, all of that. I'll probably talk about the final at Hamburg. If there's going to be 1,000 or 5,000 fans at the French Open, that's another issue. The government wants to limit them to 1,000. They're in talks right now. I want to talk in a future video about Hamburg. Also, the new balls, that they've changed the balls of the French Open. Since 2011, they've had Babolat. It's really suiting Nadal's for the top spin, getting the ball really high, jumping up, especially on a backhand like Thiem. But the balls are different. We don't know if they'll still do that. So some are saying it's slower. I haven't seen it. So I want to, make a video and discuss that after the tournament's on. And then, but I really think Nadal has the chance to get first 4 rounds guaranteed wins. And then by the time he gets past that, he's got 3 matches in Rome, 4 at Roland Garros, and really click for the quarterfinal, semi-final, final. If he reaches his best on clay, he can't be stopped and won't be stopped. That's how I see it. That's my preview. Remember, subscribe, thumbs up, bell notification, and look out for next videos. I'll definitely do semi-final and final previews at the French Open. Hopefully the quarterfinal ones if there's decent matchups too. And like I said, I'll be talking about the balls at the French Open, how they play. I'll be talking about probably the final of the Hamburg one. So many great things to look forward to if you subscribe and give the thumbs up and the bell notification. Anyway, bye for now. Have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. Bye. Hope you enjoyed the video then.